Hi there, I'm First Warn 5 Meteorologist Warren Sears. Let's take a look at the rest of your Tuesday. I know we've been talking a lot about rain and thunderstorms, and honestly, for the most part today, we've missed out. We've missed out here in the Kansas City metro. There's been some rain out to the west. It's just struggling to build this way. The radar, when I show you, it's chaotic right now. We've got a lot of rain and thunderstorms across Kansas. There are different boundaries that are initiating new stuff, and storms that are firing off and then decaying or leaving outflow boundaries to help fire new rounds later on today. So again, it's a little bit of a chaotic forecast through the rest of your Tuesday. But with the newest information coming in, hopefully I can help you pinpoint when your neighborhood has a higher chance for rain and thunderstorms a little bit later on. Again, reminder, we do have that first warn weather day in place because there is the risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms for part of the viewing area. Now this afternoon, I think we'll just keep some spotty showers and clouds mainly. Then this evening, in my opinion, with the latest information coming in, looks like we'll have the higher storm risk this evening, the severe chances near I-70 into the south. Then into tonight, rain becomes a bit more widespread with rumbles as well. I've been looking at this Lawrence camera for the last hour and a half, and it's still dark. There is rain and thunderstorms just out of reach. There are rain and thunderstorms just out of reach. But nothing really falling in Lawrence as we speak. But all of this thick cloud coverage and the darker sky is really keeping our temperatures cool. We've got 76 at the airport right now, 80 in Richmond, 83 is your warmest reading out there. In Sedalia, you've seen a little bit more sun out that way, but only 76 right now in Lawrence. So you can see that thick cloud coverage in place right now, and it looks like some rain in thunderstorm activity moving into Anderson County. The heaviest stuff just south of the KCTV coverage area near Iola and Chanute in the next 30 minutes to an hour, and this will likely track toward Fort Scott. But on the northern extent here, Franklin, Anderson, Miami, Lynn counties, and then Bates County in Missouri, probably you have the chance to steal some rain and lightning from this specific system. But as we look ahead here over the next 12 hours, we do have a little lull right now here in Kansas City, mainly cloudy, and we'll see that chance start to spike a little bit closer to dinner, I think. So let's look at a little bit of a bigger picture. There's multiple different complexes of thunderstorms, as I've mentioned out there. They are mainly focused in central Kansas right now. Not a whole lot has crossed over into Missouri. There is a much higher risk for severe thunderstorms today into the southern, south central Kansas, the Wichita area, northern Oklahoma as well. That is the highest risk for severe weather out there today. Let me see if I can pull up a map here that shows that. I'll find one here in a second. But this is the risk here locally of severe thunderstorms. With the update at midday, there was an update at noon from the Storm Prediction Center. They brought that level 3 out of 5 risk a little more to the south, as I mentioned. Still, though, everybody in this 2-3 zone has a chance for some thunderstorms. But our latest trends focusing some of the more severe weather just off to the south. Let me show you what radar could look like here over the next few hours. By 3 p.m., still likely focusing most of the heavy stuff down across Anderson, Lynn, Bates counties. We'll see if anything new can develop farther to the north. If it does, it will be very spotty. In my opinion right here, this little part of the line is of interest around 5 to 7 p.m. There could be a few cells embedded within this. You see Interstate 70, just south of Interstate 70, that have hail and gusty winds. Again, this is all very spotty though. Some of you will have very heavy rain and thunderstorms, while others into this evening might not get a whole lot. I think if you live south of Interstate 70, be prepared again for the stronger thunderstorms. And then the farther north you live, it does look to be a little bit more off and on hit and miss type variety. Then late evening, this is what 8 p.m. could look like here. A couple more strong storms pulsing around through maybe 10, 11, midnight. And then after that, the severe risk is going to really fall off for us in the KCTV coverage area. And if you note, farther to the north near Iowa, the rain doesn't probably reach that far, or if you get much, it really won't be, a whole. If you get rain, it won't be much, is what I'm trying to say there. The farther south you live should have some higher rainfall totals. By 7 a.m., most of us are dry. Throughout the day on Wednesday, there's a 30% chance on the backside of the system for a lingering quick downpour or quick thunderstorm. but most of the day should be fine. It's actually going to be quite a bit cooler and stay cool tomorrow. Your severe risks this evening: wind and hail, 60 mile per hour plus wind gusts, 1-inch hail, and there is a small tornado threat, not overly high, but it is not zero. It depends on where some of these heavier storms decide to set up. 2 to 3 inches of rain, not out of the question. But for those of you that get more generic rain, generic thunderstorms, probably a 1/2 inch to 1 inch looks a little bit more likely with this. So with the latest trends, the counties in green here, Anderson and Franklin counties, are under a flood watch tonight, this evening and into tonight, and no one else has been included in that just yet. We'll probably have to see as we get closer where the downpours will track, and if they track over the same area, then that is a little bit more of a flooding risk. I don't want to overshadow the big story later in the week, the high heat. By Thursday and Friday, we're near 90 with the heat index values well over that, and we will keep near 90 temps all the way through early next week. The humidity is going to be high. It'll be annoying and noticeable and heavy, and it's going to stick around through the entire next week. We will have high humidity out there. All right, your Security Bank 7-day forecast. Let me show it to you full screen what we've got. We have, as I mentioned, 82 and 80 today and tomorrow, and then it's a lot warmer Thursday and beyond. Not many rain chances to talk about. Quite a bit of sun with lower 90s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have not hit 90 just yet, so we will see if we can do that maybe late week and this weekend. All right, everyone, that is an update for your afternoon and evening chances for rain and thunderstorms. We have shows starting at 3:30 again, so make sure you join us for the latest information, and this will likely be changing hour by hour. This has been a kind of a messy, very messy forecast, a little bit chaotic out there. As I mentioned earlier, there's multiple different factors going into different complexes of storms, and then those could feed out and spark some other stuff. So we're having to almost nowcast and only have better ideas in the short term of what's really going to pan out. The computer models are basically just spitting out a bunch of storms and rain, and the placement of it might not be exactly what ends up happening. But just know there is the opportunity, and we want you to be prepared to have rain and thunderstorms through the rest of your Tuesday. But right now we do have a small lull and should be pretty quiet until we get into the afternoon and heart of the evening is when I think our higher severe risk is going to be. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me here. Enjoy your afternoon, and we'll have new updates at 3:30 on KCTV 5.